person that dropped is what many people are saying is the future of hip hop in Jack Harlow. Now, first things first. Pitchfork Media gave Jack Harlow's album "Come Home, The Kids Miss You" a 2.9 out of 10. Whoa. First of all, I want to say whoa. So anyway, Uproxx was normally very, I would say, backpack oriented, right? I mean, is that fair to say?
Mm,
No? Okay. They put out an article that said Jack Harlow's "Come Home, The Kids Miss You" set the tone for rap's next decade, which I thought was interesting. I want to go through a couple of points because for that to be the tone and to get a 2.9 in another publication out of 10, I saw Rolling Stone's rating too, and they put him on the cover. They gave him a 3 out of 5. So, we weren't alone in the critiques, right? All right, so Uproxx was like, the RX is Uproxx's music stamp of approval, best albums, songs, and music stories throughout the year. Inclusion is this catalog of the highest distinction we can bestow, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They start right away. Drake's influence is all over Jack Harlow's new album, "Come Home, The Kids Miss You." I don't just mean this in a sense that he appears on the album's magnetic standout track, Churchill Downs, on which Jack sounds almost exactly like his hero. But throughout the album, I couldn't help but feel the same sense I did when I first popped in Drake's mixtape comeback season in my car CD player when I was 15 years old. To be clear, this is a good thing. Harlow has been mangled over the years and perhaps somewhat unfairly for being kind of, well, goofy. In hip hop, there's more of a less always been a prevailing attitude that rappers should carry themselves with exaggerated coolness, even throughout this keep it real era. Nobody wanted most of the rappers to be themselves. Look at who all was elevating the cultures at upper echelon. Blah blah blah. Okay, I want to go to the part where this. All right, from the Notorious B.I.G.'s manifesto raps to Eminem's serial killing horrorcore, over the top personnel has been the order of the day. In recent real, keep it real ethos has been completely blown away by characters like Rick Ross and Future, who could have realistically expected to live. What? All right, let's see. Drake stood for in the comeback season. Blah blah blah. Okay, you got this kind of stuff going on, and ultimately, you got other reviews where they're saying 2.9, and not to mention, Harlow got on the Funk Flex freestyle and was talking about his detractors and talking about people who feel like he's an industry plant, yada yada yada. I'm gonna say this: this album is not good enough for him to be considered to be the person to set the tone for rap's next decade. Too much is going on in hip hop right now. Um, they not only said that he is setting the tone, they said this album is setting the tone, and I just think that that is untrue. Who's the writer here? Aaron Williams. Yeah, he got his Twitter right here. So yeah, Aaron Williams feels like Jack Harlow's album has set the tone for rap's next decade. I just think that overall that's absurd. One of the things that Jack Harlow said in his freestyle with Flex is he's not apologizing when he wins his Grammy. That's not happening. I mean, if we're talking about best rap album
hold
at
on,
the
hold on.
Grammys next year, Kendrick's going to be in that category. And one thing the Grammys is not going to do, they're not going to do the Macklemore Good Kid, Mad City thing again. It's not
You'll be
happening.
winning. You'll be winning nothing over Kendrick Lamar. Okay,
No.
that's been made apparent to me even on this thread and on this channel. It's like no, 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 you won't be doing that. So I don't know who Jack Harlow thinks he is, but I want to say something. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Pitchfork like? This is two ends of the spectrum where things are just unbalanced. It's like, don't you think Pitchfork was a little too hard, and don't you think Uproxx just didn't know what the hell they're talking about?
You know what this sounds like to
Oh,
me?
Spell Swoop.
You know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like Pitchfork was the only major publication that was left out of the loop and didn't get the Jack Harlow interviews they wanted when they wanted to get them.
Oh, did they get mad? They
I
big
think
mad?
that's what happened. So, yeah, because I've never seen anybody get a 2.9. Now, granted, I didn't like the album, but, it's
The
out there.
production was soft. The production was
Yeah,
really good, and he had some moments on there. And so, like a 2 point. What do they rate? They rate out of 10.
out of 10. They gave it a 2.9. Talk about sour grapes.
Well,
And
the way that
again,
they
I'm
rate
not
things is
defending dude
so.
on no level, but what I'm saying is I do think also I think the Pitchfork clearly hears the grassroots because y'all be hitting them up all the time. And
Well, I was going to say, I think.
I think what Pitchfork wanted to do, I think they wanted to set the illusion that when Jack Harlow's talking about his detractors, they're talking about them.
I
When
think we
he's talking
influenced the
about them and
way
he's not.
some.
Huh?
Yeah, I think the way that we have treated them has influenced their rating some in terms of their hesitancy to even give somebody like him a potentially positive review. Like, good for them for being shook up because it's like I have a feeling that if we had not done some of the things that we've done, that this album probably would have gotten like a 7.9 instead of a 2.9. You feel what I'm saying?
I think so too. I think that the people have spoken and people, are seeing through this push and the fact that, I mean, Jack Harlow got an interview with Angie, man. No, Angie interviews nobody. Like, Angie only interviews like the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, the Jay Z's out there. And
I'm,
the push has been crazy.
but understand too, you giving Jack Harlow like a 2.9, like that's that Malcolm X thing. It's like, well, you don't get to stick the knife in my back 8 inches, pull it out 5 inches, call that shit progress. Like that's not how this works either. So if that's one of those moves where they are accurately critiquing and rating him, kudos to them for doing it. But if it is one of those scenarios where they are just trying to pull the knife out of our back that they already have dug into the point that we are bleeding out and dying, well then that shit don't fucking matter.
Did
Still.
they ever review Magic? Yeah, they did. I'm looking at it right now. It
They
took
did
them a
like
minute
eight
to.
one. They
Yeah,
give
they
like
gave it a. They gave Magic a 6.8.
okay, they still don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah,
But
they gave Pusha T much more than Magic.
what they give Pusha T?
I think they gave Pusha T. Let's see. Maybe the people in the chat. I got my other computer open. Let's see, Pusha
Mm-hmm.
T. It's almost dry. Here we go. They gave it a 7.8.
Or it's almost dry.
Yeah, it's almost dry. I got a
So
7.8.
mm, I don't. That's that's kind of very problematic. Yes, I mean I would
KD
say
says, I didn't. Uh, he said, think they gave Pitchfork gave Scarface's The Fix a 6 or a 5. Did
mm,
they?
they don't.
Jesus.
I mean they don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the fix on a bad day is like a 9.2.
Yeah.
Like on a bad day, it's like a 9.2. But even to the it's dry thing, it's like, well, no, 7.8 is fairly accurate if you were even putting it on our scale. I actually wanted to talk about it's almost dry. I know we had pushed it down to a 4. It's going to be hard for us to do that because I'm going to tell you why. 3 of the best rap songs this year on a, 12-track album
Mm-hmm.
are coming off that album. And that's Brambleton, uh, Let the Smokers Shine the Coop. And what's the name? Hold on one second. And the joint with Malice. What is it called? I Pray for
I
You.
pray for you. Yeah.
Yeah, those are 3 of the best rap songs this year. When you make an album with 3 of the best rap songs this year, and we're not talking about like your Ye feature or your J feature, which are solid records. Like Dreaming of the Past is a dope ass record. Neck and Wrist is a good hip hop. That's a good song. That's what I mean when I mean a song is good. Neck and Wrist is good. It's not great. It's good. That's a good hip hop record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Diet Coke is a great record. When you put together a project like that and you got, because I looked at it, it's like, no, they're about 3 5s on Till It's Dry. And Diet Coke is almost a 5. And people feel like Neck and Wrist is a 5. It's not, it's more of a 4. But it's more of an album when you look at it. It's like it's got some 3.5 stuff, but it's got some 5 stuff. But most of it is 4. But that 5 stuff, that Brambleton, that Let the Smoker Shine the Coupe, that Diet Coke, that I Pray for You, that pushes it to kind of more of a 4.25 than a 4.
Well, it lacked continuity, and I think that it did better in that department when they paired up the Pharrell songs and paired up the Kanye songs and separated them.
No, I agree, Mike, but mostly because, like, these motherfuckers owe me money now because they took my idea and ran with it, and they think I'm joking about running up on them when I find out who did it. Like, one day I'm going to find out who did it. And it's like, because think about it, somebody got paid that watches us for stealing my idea, and it's like, I just want Apple to understand that I'm not cool, and whoever you found that did that shit, I'm going to find them.
Well, everybody's watching. Sounds
right.
Like.
Everybody's watching, including like whoever works for Apple that ran and told them that idea like it was original. Right. That's how this shit works. We didn't have rap songs stole out of my camp before, so it's like I know how motherfuckers steal. That's why I'm funny about it. We got people that got distribution deals off people stealing out my camp, like stealing from Harlow, like niggas from stealing from Harlow and shit. Right.
Well, all right. Well, understandably so. This whole notion that Jack Harlow's Come Home, the Kids Miss You sets the tone. I think what they mean, maybe, or where they're going with this, is where they think mainstream hip hop is going to go, right? I think that this whole rollout for Jack Harlow was significant in the sense where it's shown that the mainstream can't just create a star out of dust anymore. You can't just sit here and tell everybody that this person's a big deal and everybody's going to believe it. You can't send this guy to the Kentucky Derby with Drake and they're running around like, like the next black guy, white guy cop movie or something, and, he just becomes the next big thing. People see through that now. You actually have to prove your greatness from a grassroots level, and you have to do that with music. And honestly, the last time the mainstream did create stars, and these people did their groundwork too, is the Baby and Megan, right?
Hold on.
But they did their groundwork, so it's not really the same.
I don't even know if they were created as much.
They're not created. They were promoted. They gave them that extra push when they were already doing their thing.
They did their work first, Mike.
LP says if Jack gets a 2.9, then KD3 is going to get a 1.5.
Right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. No, it's not. If we wouldn't have said anything, I'm sure it would have. But yeah, they know better than to pull that BS on KD3 this time. I know y'all pulling up.
Right.